What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Grind Force Gaming. Nova here, and today I am going to be teaching you how to make short form video content just like I do. Now, short form content is anything less than 1 minute that is sized to a 9:16 format and is meant to just be a quick video that is entertaining, educational, funny, something like that. Okay, so here on YouTube, short form content is called Shorts, but on Meta, it's called Reels, but it's exactly the same thing and it can be repurposed on both platforms. Now, I post my short form content here on YouTube. I also post it on my Facebook page, which I have right up here for you guys if you want to follow me there. I'd greatly appreciate it. I'm just getting started on both of these platforms, actually, but I know that creating content like this can be a daunting task. It can be something that's a little bit scary to think about starting up, especially if you have no video editing background whatsoever. So that's why I wanted to put this video together for you guys. And I've got everything ready to go here. So let's go ahead and just hop right into it. Okay, so I have everything queued up and we are ready to start editing. But first, you might be wondering, how did I get here in the first place? So I use OBS. It's a free software. It's very easy to use and it allows me to record my monitor screen while I am playing. You can stream from it as well, but I don't personally stream. But you can do both with it. It's a great program. I love using it. And again, like I said, OBS is free. So, you can't really go wrong with it. What you're seeing here, this interface, this is Premiere Pro. Unfortunately, Premiere Pro is not free, but it is a video editing software that I've been using for years. I'm very familiar with it. So, I just have it. You pay a monthly subscription for it, but there are other options out there that are free. DaVinci Resolve, as an example, currently has a free version that you can use where I think you just have a lesser amount of features, and you can only export in 1080. But you don't need 4K exports for gaming content anyway. I export in 1080 on Premiere Pro. You don't need anything else higher than that. It's just not needed. We're not filming a Marvel movie or something like that right now. We don't need some crazy cinematic look to things or quality. So 1080 is perfect. I recommend checking that out if you want to. I myself, I've never used DaVinci Resolve, so I don't really know how it works. I would imagine it's quite similar. And truthfully, if you're just getting started, go with the free versions of things, get OBS, get DaVinci Resolve, the free version, and then try it out and make sure that you like it before you, decide to spend money on things that you could test out for free, basically. So what I'm going to do here, I already have this queued up and ready to go. There is a crazy end game scenario in this game that I was playing with Datscat and JB, and that is what I'm going to be clipping down. So it's already right at that point. I'm going to be using some hotkeys during this just to speed things up. One of them is C, that changes to a cut tool, which allows me to cut and clip things like this. Command Z gets rid of those things if I decide I want to redo it. The V key allows me to just switch back to my selecting tool. That will allow me to delete the pieces I don't want to use. And then I'll get into the other things as we get a little bit more into it. So what I'm going to do here is just drag around here within the clip and find the pieces I want to use. And I'm going to actually turn my mic off and move my mic out of the way so I can move a little bit closer to my monitor. And then I'm going to clip all of that. And then I'm going to crunch that down. And then I'll swing my mic back in and then I'll hop back on here. Okay, so I'll be right back on voice in a second.
Got him. Nova, nice. Right behind the tree. Get shots on him. Come on, Nova.
Knocked
where
him.
Are you at?
Knocked him. To zoom in like that, I'm just using the plus key, and then to zoom out, you can use the minus key to do the same. This allows me to get more precise cuts to make sure I'm getting exactly what I want to and not the things that I don't want. I'm trying to get up so I have an eye.
He's got some kind of shield.
No, I got him, but the other guy got me. I need cover, Nova. I have 1 health.
Got them both.
Nice.
Oh, I got knocked from somewhere else.
Got that guy.
Nova.
Now, I know it's probably tempting sometimes to just share like the really epic moments or just show like the elims or whatever. But when you're doing longer versions of short form content like this short is already, I already know it's going to be probably closer to a minute, and we're probably going to have to shave some things off here and there. But it's good to show little bits and pieces like this because it kind of like helps to create a story. And then also later I can make fun of JB and Datscat for both getting eliminated here. Okay, back to it.
Distance might be. Oh, yeah. For the ridge. Of course, right?
You got this.
Maybe.
Yeah, trees might be nice for you. Get knocked by falling. Probably will. Yep.
Nice.
I mean, you could have finished the team off. That would have been a victory royale. I don't know. That's the last guy, too.
Down. Down. No! You got this.
Yes. Oh, man. Reload and rush. Or you can play circle game. They have no health.
Got him.
Yes! Well played, sir.
Whew. That was crazy.
Oh my gosh.
I never thought that taking the zip up would be so beneficial, but
That drum, that enhanced drum is...
the enhanced drum is pro. Whew. That was crazy. Okay, so those are the pieces that I want to use for this. So now what we need to do is go back and get rid of all the things that we don't want to use. So these are the in-between. It's just going to be every other at this point. I'm just going to delete this one, and so on. Every other clip is going to get deleted. I'm going to zoom out here a little bit with my minus key and just click and delete. Okay, so these are the pieces for the clip. All right here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is now just delete this empty space by clicking on it and deleting it. And that's going to leave me with this condensed version of that end game. So what we need to do now is make sure that this fits with our time frame because we only have a minute for shorts or reels, whatever you want to call them. So what I'm going to do here is zoom in. I'm going to move my cursor over it. I'm going to hit I for in. I'm going to back out. Go right here to the end of it. I'm going to zoom back in again. Make sure that there's like a little bar right here. If you can see that white line just kind of like dancing back and forth, there's a bar here, and that's going to be my out zone. So if I hit O for out, that's going to show me that clip. So let's back out here. This is what we're looking to export, right? Currently we are at 1 minute and 1 second. So it needs to be a little bit smaller. Okay, you can see that right here in the in-out duration. So I'm just going to Control Z twice to undo that. And then I'm going to go in here and we're going to watch this clip back to see if we can trim it down a little bit. Ideally, because I do put a little outro on my videos, I like to have them around like 55 seconds, 56 seconds or something. That way I stay very easily within that time zone. So I think here we can clip something off.
Right behind the tree, get shots on him.
So we can probably start that maybe when Datscat first starts calling out the location.
Nova, right behind.
Maybe we can start it here.
Behind the right behind the tree. Get shots on him. Come on, Nova.
Knocked
Where
him.
you at?
Knocked him. Okay, don't need me saying knocked him twice. So let's go ahead and just trim that part off. Let's delete that. We'll zoom back out here
He's got some kind of
and
shield.
check the rest of these. We might be able to get this down to about
Got me. I need
50
cover.
seconds.
Nova, I have 1 health.
Got them both.
Nice.
Oh, I got knocked from somewhere else.
Okay, maybe you can trim a little bit off here. If you zoom in a lot, it's not a ton, but you know, a little bit counts sometimes. Okay, trim that down a little bit. We'll leave that in just because, you know, helps tell the story. It helps show that I was the last one left, right? You get to see the moment that led to that.
Freeze might be nice for you.
I might want to trim this down a little bit.
Freeze might be nice for you.
We can clip that off just a little bit there.
Yep.
Trim that in as well.
Yep.
Okay. Missed a couple shots here, but you know, it is what it is.
That's the last guy too.
No!
They have no health.
Got him.
Yes! Well played, sir.
Whew. That was crazy. Okay, so that's pretty good, right? I think that's a great little short. So what we're going to do here is go back to this point. I'm going to zoom back in again to make sure I get it right at the start of this clip. Let's zoom back out. Again, I'm hitting I for that, and then I'm just zooming in and out with my plus and minus. Zoomed way out on that one for some reason. Okay, let's just go back in here and hit O for the out. Okay, we're at 56 seconds now. You can see that right here, bottom right of the actual video screen. The in-out duration, we're at 56 seconds. So that's perfect. What I'll do now is just on the top left here, I'm going to go to export. And since I have this selected as my in and out, when I go to export, it's only going to export that. Because we don't want to export everything else. That would be too long. This overall, this total stream was like 8 hours or something. So this is around like the 4 hour and 40-minute mark of that. I don't want to export all of that. So what we'll do here is just at the top, we're going to just title it. We'll just put crazy drum, shoddy, zipline, trio ending. That way it'll help me remember what this clip is. Okay, I have it allocated to go to my videos. I have a custom preset, which that's like a whole different thing, how you want to export it. But ultimately, you just want to make sure that you're editing it into the correct format for YouTube. And you can very easily find those settings online. So I'm not going to get into that on this video, but I might do my own video for it because I did tweak the settings a bit for myself. So anyway, bottom right of the screen here, I'm going to hit export. And it's going to export this specific clip. Once the export is done, what you're going to do is use some kind of service to drop it to your phone. Unless you want to edit it on your computer, you can. I just personally don't. I like to edit the shorts that I make on my phone because I like the tactile approach to it. I also use an app called CapCut, which is free. I've used it for a long time. I'm very familiar with it. I just prefer to do it that way. So there's no right or wrong way to do any of this. And it might seem a little tedious to take something that's already in an editing software, move it to my phone to edit it in a different software, but it's what works best for me. It's the process that I have found that is the most streamlined, the easiest, and the quickest for me to do it. So that's what's important. Doing social media like this is 100% about volume and consistency. So whatever is the best way for you to do things, whatever is the most streamlined, the quickest process for you to produce this content to be able to share it, then that is the correct way to do it. So I'm going to take this file. I'm going to use WeTransfer, which is a free service online. I'm going to use that to send it to my email. And then I'm going to download that on my phone. I'm going to pull it into CapCut. And then that is what I'm going to pull up here now to show you how I do the editing on CapCut. All right, so let's do that. Okay, guys, so what you're looking at right now is a screen recording on my phone. I am in CapCut. Now, I don't have any affiliation with this company whatsoever. It's a free app. I've been using it for a long time. It's just what I like to use, so I thought I would share it with you guys. What we're going to do to start this out is hit New Project, and then we're going to bring in this clip. Okay, this is the one that we were working on in Premiere Pro. I'm going to hit Add on the bottom right, and that's going to create my sequence within CapCut. Okay, now, on the bottom of the screen here in the middle, you're going to see a button that says Overlay. I'm going to tap on Overlay. I'm going to hit Add Overlay, and then I'm going to add that same video in again. And then I'm going to hit the bottom left like double arrow to back up. And then I'm going to hit Add Overlay one more time. We're going to add that same video in again. And that's going to be the the actual video and the 2 additional overlays that I'm going to use for this, which is what I typically do. Okay, so let's scroll to the very back now. And there's always this outro that CapCut puts in to like advertise for themselves. Just go ahead and tap on it and then hit delete on the bottom right. Okay, then we can hit the plus button over here. This is what I'm going to do because I always add in a little outro on my videos. So I'm just going to pick one of my other videos. I'm going to scroll to the back of it, and then I'm going to just find the beginning of that, tap that clip. Bottom left, I'm going to hit split, and I'm going to click on the part that I don't want. I'm going to delete it, and that'll just leave that, okay? So currently we are still in landscape format, so we need to change that. So I just hit that little back left arrow on the bottom screen again to back up. So now on the right, you see some things that says ratio. It's a little square. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click on the TikTok emblem, the 9:16, and then I'm going to hit the white check mark on the bottom right. Then I'm going to click on these teardrops here just above the clip, and that will create like a drop-down menu of all of them. So let's tap that now. Okay, here are all of the clips. Now, all of these clips have audio on them, which you don't want because that can make it start to echo. So what we're going to do is on this one here, hit volume down in the middle, and we're just going to drag that to 0. Click on the one above it, hit volume, and drag that one to 0. You only need volume on one of the clips, okay? All right, so now let's tap on the top one because this is going to be our primary screen here to show the clip. So I'm just going to use my fingers to expand it, drag that down. Let's click on the second one here in the line, and I'm going to scroll over and hit this little edit button. Click on edit, and on the right, I'm going to click crop. And then I'm just going to crop this in, dragging it with my fingers to create just like the little face cam overlay. I'm going to hit the check on the bottom right to select that, and then I'm just going to go ahead and drag it up with my finger and expand it, and then just kind of sink that into the top. And I actually piece those together quite well. Surprising. Normally I have to like adjust them a little bit, which is fine. Okay, so now on the bottom here again, we have our 3 layers. I'm going to click on the 3rd layer, scroll over again, hit edit, hit crop, and then just like before, I'm going to make this box just fit exactly what I want, which is going to be the loadout in this case. I will accept that with the bottom right check mark, and then I'm going to resize that and just put that right here. Okay, this is what I normally do. You can create other layers. You can show the map. You can show your health. You can show your elimination count. You can do whatever you want, but this is just normally what I do. And that I'll back out again. And now if you want to add some text, this is something that's very important. And I do definitely recommend using text on these. It helps you tell the story. It helps you explain what's going on. But most importantly, it helps you hook the viewer. So what I definitely recommend is in the beginning of your short, have something that engages the viewer and makes them think like, ooh, I really want to watch this. Okay, so we're going to hit the text button here on the bottom. It's right to the left of overlay. And we're going to hit add text on the left. And then we'll type something like, when you pull off the unimaginable. How about that? Because we saw this clip, right? It's pretty crazy. It's pretty surprising that I was able to pull that off and win. So I think that's a pretty fair way to open this up. Okay, now if you click on font again, which is just underneath, like just above the numbers and just underneath the little text box. If I click on font again, it's going to drop the keyboard down. I'll scroll down just a little bit here. I like to use helium. Now, these texts move around all the time, and there's no way to save favorite ones, which is kind of odd. But they add different ones in all the time and remove some, so they move around. Your text that you like might not be in the same place, but just you might have to just look for it. Then I like to click on effects, and I have one of these effects saved. On the left is like a little bookmark tab. This just gives me a good backdrop, so it makes the letters pop against the background of the video. And then animation, I usually do an out animation, and that will make it flip down. That's the one that I typically use. I don't recommend doing an animation for like in, because when you post this, then it's going to have no text on it, because the initial frame of the video is without the text. So it's better to have only an out, because that way the video will have text. So even if people are scrolling before it plays, they might see it and start reading it, and then they might just end up watching it as a result. Okay, so that's a great opening text for it. I'm definitely going to add more text in over this as well, but I don't need to spend my time, or your time doing that right now. That's really the basis of this. I mean, it might seem a little crazy that that's it, but I mean, that's it. It's very simple. It's very easy to do. Add some more text at the end of it. It's good to have like a call to action, like request for a follow or for a like or something, if you have the space for it. Some videos are good for that if they're a little bit longer, but if a video is a little bit shorter, you might not have the time for that. You don't want to spam text at people either. You want to let them watch, what they're watching. So one thing I do want to make note of here is that in this game, when games end, you'll see the layer there in the middle. If you're looking where the weapon loadout is, it just goes away. And that's because most of your HUD display goes away when a game ends. So what I like to do is I'm going to hit the bottom left arrow here to back out. I'm going to hit the little teardrops again on the left, and that's going to drop that down. And that's the third layer, right? Our third layer was the weapon loadout. So what I'm going to do is just split that, and I'm going to delete the part that doesn't have anything showing. So right here, if I just on the left-hand side on the bottom hit split, it's already highlighted the back half of it toward the end of the video. I'm just going to scroll this over a little bit, and I'm going to hit delete. And that way it doesn't do that when the game ends. So it's just a little bit of a cleaner approach to it. And then once you want to export it, again, make sure it's under a minute, okay? This one's right at a minute. So I might like shorten my outro a little bit just to try to have it hit 59 seconds. But just make sure it's under a minute. Otherwise, when you try to post it, the app is just going to clip whatever it is, or it might not even let you post it because it's too long, and it might clip out something that you don't want clipped out, either in the beginning or at the end. So just a heads up there. So to have it exported, on the very top right of the screen next to where it says 1080p, there's an arrow with a line underneath it. You're just going to hit that export, and it'll automatically export for you. And then it's ready to post. Simple as that. All you need is a caption, throw some hashtags on it, and that is it, guys. Not too hard, right? It's pretty simple. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this video helped you out, and I hope that it makes your editing process a little bit easier. Again, I know that it might seem a little odd to do all of this like preparatory work here on the computer and then go through the process of sending it to my phone, but to be honest with you guys, that's just my process. It's easier for me. Feel free to do it on the computer as well if that's more comfortable for you, but one of my favorite things about doing it on the phone, not only that I'm really good at it, but that I can very easily just leave the computer. I can go lay on the couch, put a movie on, put a TV show on. I can slowly format them. I can do them, do the formatting for the reels or the shorts wherever I want to. I'm not stuck doing that here. I get a little bit more freedom in like where and when and how I, actually do that formatting. So I really do like that aspect of it. Please take a moment to hit the subscribe button, throw a like on the video, and leave a comment as well if you'd like to see more videos like this, or you'd like to see me dive into like my OBS settings, or maybe some more or just maybe more stuff like this, a different approach to it. I'd certainly be open to hearing about that and seeing if I can produce that content for you guys. So stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, and we will see you guys in the next video. Cheers.